project on the Punic Wars. Let's start off with the First Punic War, since there was 3. Here are some of the origins of the First Punic War. The First Punic War was located in Sicily. Carthage had much control of Sicily in the 260s. Carthage had a much larger army with about 50,000 soldiers. The First Punic War lasted about 20 years. And those were the origins of the First Punic War. Now on to the actual Punic War. Both sides kept fleets of about 100 to 200 ships and 50 to 70,000 soldiers. The majority of battles were fought at sea. Some were fought at land, but were mainly in Corsica, Sardinia, Africa, and Sicily. The Romans were not sailors, and they lost more ships in the war than Carthage. Carthage lost 600 ships over the course of 20 years. The boats that they used had a hook kind of like a plank that would hook onto the other ships so they could come and invade the other ships and fight overseas. Considering Rome wasn't very good at sea, they learned to make adjustments and had learned how to make war at sea. Rome prevailed last in 241. Carthage, exhausted, more than beaten, sued for peace and accepted harsh terms. Now on to the results of the First Punic War. Rome imposed a heavy indemnity on Carthage to compensate for her losses. She forced Carthage to give up all claims on Sicily. They suffered heavy losses in sea battles. Now on to the Second Punic War. Carthage acquired Hamilcar. Hamilcar hated Rome. Hamilcar had conquered much of Spain. Hamilcar longed to be the man who would avenge the shame of the First Punic War. Hamilcar had a son named Hannibal and taught him many ways. He taught him his hatred of Rome and the skills of battle. Hamilcar had died. Hannibal wanted to be something big. He wanted to be a greater leader than his dad. Hannibal was, by all accounts, both ancient and modern in military genius. Because he eventually was on the losing side, he is also rather a figure of tragedy. When Hannibal marched on Rome at the age of 25, he cast a shadow over the entire history of the Roman Republic. Hannibal was determined to fight Rome, and he was determined to fight the war on Carthaginian terms. Hannibal would invade Italy himself. The Romans believed they could easily contain Hannibal in Spain, but he gave the Roman army the slip and was across the Pyrenees almost before the Romans knew what had happened. Hannibal's march into Italy was legendary. Hannibal had to fight his way through the Roman army, cross the Pyrenees, then fight his way across southern France for an area that was under Roman control, then cross the formidable Alps. Hannibal had crossed the Alps. Hannibal crossing the Alps was a major success, but he had done things more remarkable than that. When news had came about that Hannibal had escaped from Spain, Rome was concerned but not panicked. Hannibal had to cross the river, but it was too deep for the elephants. They had usually used elephants for travel, but for now they had to swim across or use pontoons to get across the river. Once across the river, Hannibal marched quickly south again and caught the Roman army entirely by surprise. He won a resounding victory, and now nothing stood between him and Italy, except the Alps. Crossing the Alps was a heroic effort. The mountains themselves were dangerous, of course, but they were made even more dangerous by the fact that local tribes cheerfully fought anyone who entered their mountains, so Hannibal had to fight his way over the mountains. Hannibal had a brother named Hasdrubal. Hasdrubal was his younger brother. He had been fighting in Spain. Indeed, there had been fighting in Spain ever since Hannibal left there, and the campaigns were tough and hard fought. Hannibal's brother sought to join forces with him in Italy. Hasdrubal duplicated his brother's accomplishments. He gave the Romans in Spain the slip, crossed the Pyrenees, crossed the Rhone River, crossed the Alps. He fought his way down to the Italian peninsula. The goal was to join forces with the two brothers. The Romans were determined to prevent this. The two brothers got quite close within a day or two's march. Many knew Hannibal, few knew Hasdrubal. The best way was to be famous appears to be first. But Hasdrubal was forced to the battle at the Matarius River, and the Romans won a resounding victory there. Hasdrubal himself was killed in the battle. When Hannibal learned of this, he retreated south again, unwilling to give battle in his turn. The Matarius River was the last significant battle in Italy of the Second Punic War. And now on to Scipio Africanus. Like Hannibal, Scipio had built up an army that was both battle-tested and fiercely loyal to their commander. In 205, Scipio ran for consul on the platform that he could defeat Carthage and bring the long war to a close. His success in Spain helped, and he won. He gathered a large army of volunteers and landed in Africa in 204. For the time he landed, Carthage began appealing to Hannibal to return to Africa. Hannibal had to find a way to get his 200,000 men to a seaport undetected by Roman armies. At the same time, a Carthaginian transport fleet had to make its way to the port undetected by Roman navies. Next on to the Battle of Zama. For the Battle of Zama, both sides had about 25,000 people. Scipio had brought with him his superb Spanish horsemen, but Hannibal, on home ground in Africa, now had his elephants. These were war elephants, specially trained, and Hannibal staked battle on them. To aid the elephants, the men were instructed to shout, bang metal, and general make as much noise as possible, causing the beasts to shy away from the noise and into the alleyways. Hannibal's plan was utterly ineffective. The real battle had begun. Scipio used much the same tactics as Zama, as Hannibal had as on to the end of the Second Punic War. The war between Rome and Carthage had come to an end in 202. Rome forced Carthage to pay a terrible price this time. Carthage had to give up their entire empire. Spain, the islands, North Africa, her navy, her army, all of it either gone or drastically reduced. Carthage was allowed no foreign policy but became a client of Rome. Hannibal himself went east, forbidden to live in his native city. When Hannibal finally died, somewhat mysteriously and before his time, it was believed that he had been poisoned, or either at the behest of the Senate or by an Eastern king seeking to curry favor with the Senate. The Second Punic War was a turning point in Roman history with profound implications for the Republic. The Republic now had to adjust to its finances, administration, foreign policy, and alliance system to rule these new territories. And now on to the final Third Punic War. The Third Punic War was a brief, towardly affair, unworthy of the heroism of the previous conflicts. If ever there was a war that could be called unnecessary, this one would qualify. To Despite all the penalties, Carthage recovered economically. Rome had taken away their empire and financially burden that went with it. Rome had acquired a good deal of fertile land along the coast of North Africa and a number of senators that invested in olives and grain there. But these were goods in which Carthage traded as well, and Carthage was rather better at it. A faction with the Senate, led by Cato the Elder, began to agitate against Carthage. Cato thought that Carthage must be destroyed. And in the end, Cato got his wish. It might claim that Rome went to war simply to hush up the old boy, but alas, Carthage gave Rome all the excuse it needed. And on to the aftermath of the Third Punic War. The Third Punic War had no real consequences, other than the destruction of the city became legendary. The real victory over Carthage was achieved in 202. If the sad business of 146 meant anything, it showed that Hannibal's shadow still hung over Rome. Thank you for listening to our project on the Punic War's battles. This project was by Alexis R Mackenna E.